Avery Howard here in Lincoln following Tuesday media availability. Well, this week, Nebraska has the opportunity to do something they haven't done since 2006, and that's win back-to-back road games. They got the job done last Saturday at Maryland in a 34-31 victory, and they'll look to do the same this Friday at Minnesota. Today we heard from Coach Holgorsen, who talked about one of his playmakers in Isaiah Hunter, who had a career game against Maryland, and how he's not surprised in the production he's seeing this season from Hunter in his offense.
The main thing that stood out to me was contested catches. He's a strong guy. And strong guys with good ball skills and good body control can make contested catches. So I identified him as a guy that could run those screens that you've seen the last couple weeks. I mean, we identified that pretty early. My experience with those screens are, you can scheme that stuff up, and I think, Luke and Justin have a great feel for where those defenders are going to end up. But you can't just throw those things to anybody. Guys that are fearless, guys that can run through the ball and run through contact and bounce off of people certainly help. And then it turns out once he gets out in the open field, he can run pretty fast. So it's good to see him running with two shoes.
Well, it'll be a homecoming for another one of Coach Holgorsen's playmakers, and that's Emmett Johnson. Emmett will return to Minneapolis this Friday, his hometown, to play against a Minnesota team that didn't recruit him. In fact, he made his commitment to Nebraska, but at the end of last season had questions about where he may fit into this offense. Well, today, Coach Holgorsen shared with us a little bit of those conversations he had with Emmett at the end of last season that they're now seeing come to life.
2 or 3 of them, and I didn't know what his mindset was. It kind of caught me off guard because, I was like, his production started to go up once I got here because I recognized his skill set. So when he came in, it caught me off guard a little bit. I'm like, wait a minute here, man. I just committed to staying here. I need you to commit to staying here too, But I understand. I understand how he is feeling, and but at the end of the day, he just was like, if you're staying, I'm staying, and we're gonna make this thing good. I promise you, we're gonna make this thing good, and you're gonna be a big part of it.
Well, speaking of things coming to life, after the win on Saturday at Maryland, Henry Lutovsky shared with us that it was really the special moments that happened on the bench that led them to that victory. Well, today, Cam Lenhart shared with us one of those special moments and about how Emmett Johnson also spoke something into life.
I mean, he came up to us as me and Judy were sitting on the bench, and he was like, man, they can't stop me, just feed me the rock. And and then it was crazy because that was right before he had the run. So then when he went out there and hit the run, it was like, he just spoke it into existence. So Emmett's, I love Emmett, and just for him to do something like that and go out there and do it, I'd be like, oh shoot. So that, as a defense, you see him do that, it's all right, now I gotta go match that energy.
It was the 50-yard run that Emmett Johnson spoke into existence that eventually set up for Dane Key's first ever game-winning touchdown. Key told us today it's in big moments like that he's most thankful for practices like today on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
From days like today, just Tuesday practices, Wednesdays practice, just grinding, doing all the hard stuff during the week. So when the plays like that happen during the game, like you said, we just made it look easy because of the preparation that went on during the week.
His quarterback, Dylan Raiola, echoed a similar message. He said all of those plays start with the trust established in the offseason.
It's been a long offseason and a lot of trust and all that gets built up then. And, there's not a whole lot of thinking and more just reacting to what the defense is doing. And those guys know where to be at the right spot, and when that happens, it's easy for the quarterback to sit back there and throw it to where the ball's supposed to be, and they're actually there.
Dylan Raiola couldn't help but smile today when he was being asked about Emmett Johnson and what this homecoming will mean, not just to Emmett, but the rest of this team.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, this means a lot to us because Emmett's such a big part of our team, and I mean, you can say what you want, it's just another game, but for this guy, he's been through the wire, and it's like a Cinderella, not ending, but it's just the story is crazy. He's the way he grew up and everything that he's been so overlooked by everybody, and for him to have a chance to go back there and make his statement, make his mark, is special. But
Last but certainly not least, we heard from Kenneth Williams today, who was awarded a scholarship following the win at Maryland. Williams had an 85-yard kickoff return on Saturday. Today, the former walk-on told us, in a world where it's hard to be a walk-on in college football these days, it all starts with believing in yourself first.
Process, it was hard. Like I say, it was a lot of like self-doubt. It was a lot of ups and downs on this journey. But like I say, if you just keep pushing putting your best foot forward and keep striving, like I say, eventually it'll come. Walk on, like I say, is definitely some ups and downs to it. But like I say, if you got the dedication and hard work and skills, like I say, and believing in yourself first and foremost, it'll all happen.
Nebraska will hit the road this week and head to Minneapolis, where they'll face the Gophers Friday night at 7 o'clock and look to improve to 6-1 on the season.